Dragon Ball Daima is quite possibly one of the most frustrating Dragon Ball experiences I've ever had. Major spoilers ahead. The plot of Daima is slow and boring, with few plot changes in each episode creating bad pacing. The end of episode 2 is where the delay in the story starts, like the hero's ship being stolen or broken or destroyed every second episode. Some other time-wasting tactics are deployed, like air being too heavy to fly, or some pointless obstacle or enemy to overcome, or the Dragon Ball being stolen. There are some teasers, callbacks and cameos, but with little payoff at the end, which also automatically adds to the filler. Daima has no meat on its bones. It's filled with and then this happens episodes and scenes, which adds nothing to the story. I know Dragon Ball Z was filled with time wasting like this, but the original Dragon Ball with Goku wasn't anywhere near this extent. But Daima is basically one long filler season that just confuses the veteran audience of the series.
It was easy once I got started.
The show just doesn't sit right. Like the part with the Minotaur is a perfect example of something that doesn't fit in Dragon Ball. It's too modern, the flat jokes, the voice acting, this whole dumb scene can be plucked straight out of any other isekai anime slop. Instead of making the demon realm like hell or something, we are introduced to some Alice in Wonderland version of the Star Wars world, which is a horse that has been ridden to death over the last 10 years. I don't even want to go into the gods of the demon realms thing. Whatever. I felt really frustrated in episode 15. Goku and his gang are struggling to go up against an army, something that Goku did alone as an actual kid back in the original series, and those fighting geniuses Vegeta and Piccolo were also just useless in this fight.
Mentally, he's impossible to beat.
It would have been interesting if Vegeta or Piccolo were affected by the demon realm somehow. What happened to the powerful and creepy Supreme Kai mind-reading abilities from Z? The show is missing the darker, creepier side of Dragon Ball that made Z so great. The margin are disappointing. They don't have weird or interesting powers. They are basically just the boring parts of Buu. When they were created in Daima, I felt a sense of dread, like something bad was going to happen. But no, it was just some kind of anti-hero thing. The villain's motivation is a bit lacking. They go to the enemy to stop the enemy from making things worse by turning them into children. So what? They won't grow up again? Or are they kids forever? And why does making them kids matter? To demons, time means nothing. So to a demon, tomorrow the heroes will just be adults again. What about Gohan? Is he a kid as well? If he is, why isn't he asking around? It's not like he's forgotten about. He was featured heavily at the start of the first episode. A Gohan side plot would have solved a ton of the time wasting. Dragon Ball fans, actually like Gohan. I loved the superhero movie because I felt like Gohan and Piccolo finally received some much deserved attention.
I have to agree with you.
And I also guess they forgot capsules exist, which would have made for a fun character moment between Bulma and Pansy if Bulma remembered to take some with her. Goku seems dumber and more annoying and less serious than even the original Kid Goku. Shouldn't it be the opposite? The biggest payoff in the story is a more boring version of Dragon Ball GT's Super Saiyan 4, where the interesting Uzaru Golden Ape form is skipped over. And after all of the filler and time wasting, the show just cuts off incredibly quick with a wave from Goku at the end. You can make the case that this boring show is supposed to bring in new, younger viewership and introduce them to the Dragon Ball universe with a new story, but they aren't doing a great job at that. I do agree that Daima feels more childish than previous entries in Dragon Ball. Compared to the rest of the Dragon Ball series, Daima belongs in the Goo Goo Gaga realm along with Teletubbies. The show does look good, but the fighting looked stiff. It was okay until the very last battle where everything just looked planned. Daima would have made a great 90-minute movie. Even one that I could have said are among my favorite Dragon Ball movies, like the last 4 Dragon Ball movies. It would have benefited the pacing, the punch of the story, and the animation could have been even better. Instead of reminding people what made the original Dragon Ball Kid Goku series great, they used all of the filler techniques that someone thought out for Z and made it an isekai.